1854. An elementary school in Michigan, USA. 7-year-old Thomas Edison is daydreaming in class again. The teacher is teaching arithmetic, but he's staring at the branches outside the window. Edison, what is 1 plus 1? He's stunned by the teacher. Why does it have to equal 2? A pile of mud plus a pile of mud isn't just one bigger pile of mud? The whole class burst out laughing. The teacher's face turned bright red. Enough. You're intellectually deficient. You're simply not fit for school. He said that in front of everyone. He was kicked out of class. That afternoon, the school sent a letter home. It said your child's thinking is muddled, and he can't be properly educated. They suggested he drop out. After reading the letter, his father, Samuel, slammed his fist on the table in anger. How can you be so hopeless? You can't even go to school. Edison lowered his head. Tears welled up in his eyes. Just then, his mother, Nancy, came in. She took the letter and glanced at it. She turned and left. Nancy went straight to the school. He stood at the principal's office door. His voice was calm, but firm. I've read this letter, but I don't agree with your judgment. The principal was stunned. Madam, your child is missing. My child is fine. Nancy cut him off. It's this school's fault. You only teach them to memorize answers, but not to ask questions. From today on, I'll teach him myself. He took Edison's hand and walked away without looking back. On the way home, Edison quietly asked his mother, "Am I really stupid?" Nancy knelt down, looked into his eyes and said, "Son, it's just that you think about too many things. Too soon to ask. But it's not stupid. It's smart." That night, Nancy turned the kitchen into a classroom. A wooden table, an oil lamp, a few old books. This is Edison's new school. Nancy started teaching her son to read. She brought out the wonders of the world and read them to him, word by word. "Mom, why does it rain?" "Because water vapor turns into droplets when it gets cold." "Then why is there thunder?" "Because clouds rubbing together create sparks." Edison's eyes lit up. He started asking questions like crazy. What Nancy didn't understand, she'd go to the library with him to look up. She taught him to read introductions to electricity and basic chemistry, even though a lot of it she didn't understand herself. But he knew the boy needed answers. His father, Samuel, didn't understand. You're just indulging his nonsense. He should be learning carpentry, something practical. Nancy didn't argue. She just kept lighting the oil lamp, and kept her son company while he read. Every night, the kitchen light was on. Mother was sewing clothes, and her son was taking notes. The light from the oil lamp illuminated their shadows. Edison started experimenting. He was collecting frog's pawn in the barn. He wanted to study the origin of life. He used balloons to make a flying machine. It exploded. He mixed chemicals in the cellar. He almost set the house on fire. His father was furious and wanted to hit him. "You're playing with fire. Something bad is going to happen." Nancy stopped her husband. He went into the smoke-filled cellar, looking at his son, covered in soot. "Thomas, what are you doing?" "I want to know. What happens when different chemicals are mixed together?" Nancy sighed. He didn't scold him. He just told him next time he does an experiment, to remember to ventilate the room, and don't play with fire in a wooden house. The father shook his head outside the door. "You'll ruin the boy." Nancy said softly, "I just don't want to extinguish his curiosity." That winter, Edison was 12 years old. He sold newspapers on the train, and secretly did experiments in the baggage car. One time, an experiment caused a fire. The conductor threw away his equipment, and slapped him in the face. Edison was fired. His ears were also deafened. Edison went home. He hid in his room and wouldn't come out. He felt like he was good for nothing. Expelled from school. Fired from the train. Even experiments, he couldn't do them well. His father sighed in the living room. "I told you. He wasn't cut out for this." Nancy didn't say anything. She just took a lamp and went into the room. She put the lamp on the table, and sat next to her son, Thomas. Do you know why this lamp is lit? Edison shook his head. Because someone lit it. Science isn't playing with fire. It's the art of illumination. You just haven't found the right way yet. He patted his son on the shoulder. Don't worry, the light will always find a way out. That night, Edison started experimenting again. Nancy sat outside the door, listening to the clinking sounds inside. She knew the boy wouldn't give up. Because he had never given up on him. October 21, 1879. After thousands of failures, the light finally came on. In the laboratory, that lamp cast a warm glow. Edison looked at it, tears streaming down his face. He thought of his mother. Of the oil lamp in the kitchen. Of what his mother said, light. He'll find a way out. He immediately wrote to his mother, Mom. I did it. That light finally shone. Meanwhile, back home in Michigan, Nancy had grown old. Her hair completely white. He was sitting in the kitchen, holding his son's letter in his hand. The night deepens outside the window. Inside, the lights are bright. The oil lamp is still on the table, the flame flickering gently. He looks at the light. And smiles. That child who was expelled. Now it lights up the whole world. And he knows he did one thing right. He believed that years later. Someone asked Edison, in your life, what is your greatest invention? He thought about it and said it wasn't the light bulb. Or the phonograph. But I had a mother who believed in me. She taught me that education isn't about labels, but trust. When everyone said I couldn't do it, she whispered, try. The light of that oil lamp is brighter than any lamp I've invented. Education isn't a race for grades, but a transfer of trust. Every misunderstood child needs someone who won't give up on them. When the world says no, that person who whispers, try, is love. Nancy showed us with her life that true education isn't about shaping standard answers, but lighting the lamp in a child's heart, so they can find their own light in the darkness.